Welcome to Biogalaxy Online. Today we are going to discuss the key terms of ecology with the help of few simple animations. Now what is ecology? Well, it's a branch of biology that deals with the relationship between living things and their surroundings. The word ecology was coined by German zoologist Ernst Haeckel in the year 1869. The word comes from two Greek words, oikos meaning household, home or place to live, and logos meaning knowledge. Now what is an ecosystem? Well, ecosystem is the smallest structural or functional unit of nature or environment. Biologists define an ecosystem as a community of living organisms and their physical environment, which includes both biotic as well as abiotic factors. This term was popularized by British ecologist Arthur Transley in the year 1935. Now an ecosystem consists of both biotic factors, that is living components, and abiotic factors or non-living components. The living components include birds, plants, etc. And the abiotic factors include sunlight, water, nutrients, etc. To understand rest of the terms, let us assume this is a simple grassland ecosystem along the riverbed where organisms such as butterfly, rabbits, foxes coexist. Now what is a population? Well, it's a group of organisms of the same species inhabiting the same area. For example, in this ecosystem, a group of rabbits living together can be known as a population. Similarly, different organisms might also exist in that ecosystem, forming different populations. Now, what is autecology? Well, it's the ecology of a single species which deals with the relations between that species and its environment. Now, what is synecology? Well, it's the branch of ecology which deals with the relations between natural communities and their environment. For example, different species coexisting together in this ecosystem and their interaction with the environment can be called synecology. Now, what is a community? Well, it includes all the living components of an ecosystem. For example, the rabbits, tree, foxes, deers, all these living components are just parts of community. So community can be defined as an interacting group of various species in a common location. Now what is a habitat? Well, habitat is a place where an organism or a community of organisms prefer to live. For example, this species of butterfly prefers to collect nectar from flowers which bloom along the river bank, whereas the second species of butterfly prefer to collect nectar from flowers blooming in open areas within a forest. Now, what is a species? Well, it's a group of organisms which mate only with similar organisms to produce fertile offspring. For example, a deer in this ecosystem will never mate with a fox and vice versa. So, species is a group of potentially interbreeding organisms which do not normally reproduce with organisms belonging to different species to produce viable fertile offsprings. Now what is niche? Well, niche is the role of an organism in an ecosystem. For example, rabbit's role in this ecosystem is to graze and reproduce fast so that it can provide a stable food source for the predators such as fox. The role of a butterfly in this ecosystem is to collect nectar and pollinate the flowers in this process. So niche is the functional role and relational position of a species in an ecosystem. Joseph Grinnell first used this term in the year 1917, and the word niche actually comes from a French word nicher, which means to nest. Now what is a food chain? Let us assume that this is a simple food chain in a grassland ecosystem where solar energy passes from sun to producers and from producers to rabbits in the form of food. Then this energy passes from the body of the rabbit to the foxes when foxes prey on rabbits. So a food chain is a linear sequence of organisms through which nutrients and energy pass from one trophic level to another as one organism eats another. Now, what is a food web? Well, an ecosystem usually have more than one food chain. For example, this grassland may have a few squirrels and eagles too, forming a different food chain. And when these different food chains are interconnected at various trophic levels, it forms a food web. So a food web is a graphical model which represents the connection between multiple food chains to show the feeding relationships and energy flow among organisms in an ecosystem. Thanks for visiting Biogalaxy online. Hope you liked the video. Share and subscribe, and don't forget to press the I button for more videos. Thanks once again.